Oh, how you doing, tech fans here? Let's put our ID on so you know we need to. Technical director. Information technology. Yeah, I know. Okay. So, I've been working on another project. Everything else is working in the back here okay. Okay. So, we have an SSD. This is 128 gig. Originally, I got it for this. The notebook. Mm-hmm. Netbook, sorry. No, they call it netbook. Okay. Well, this is running. Remember, this netbook came with a 160 gig hard drive. I think it came with 1 gig of RAM. I upgraded it to 2 gig of RAM. Ooh. But anyway, I put the SSD in there. What it is, I cloned the drive. I use a software called AOMEI. It used to be called Partition Magic, but this company took over it. So I don't want to put their newer version, the free. Oh, that's by the way. If you have older copy of free versions, you just have to block it from calling it back home. Yeah, I can tell you that much. Yeah, you don't want it to talk. You don't want to update to the next version because the free ones, especially. See, a lot of them, what they did, the free ones were very powerful and give a lot of features. So anything now is very limited. Okay, so the other laptop that I put back together again, I didn't put back together the rest of the USBs. Yeah, I can put them in there. I just don't feel like doing it. My job, my thing is to keep it cool. Even though I put the paste and everything, it still runs hot. So I have a large fan. It's bigger than, I think it's about 120 milliliter. That fan kit that they give me, the cooling fan. Remember I told you I ordered one from Amazon, and the company, it had 4 or 6 lights. It was making a lot of noise. I sent it back, and I put it back. I gave it a bad review because it made too much noise. So the company said, "Hey, could you write a new review, and we'll send you a brand new one." And that's what they did. They sent me a larger one. And then I said, "I'm going to write a fair review. You can't pay me to write a review." So I did. I wrote a review. It's all right. It wasn't making noise. It doesn't make noise. Now I have to hit it a couple of times. But what they sent me is you can put the laptop in it and go like so. See? Oops. Power came out of this thing here. So in other words, what I mean is you can mount the laptop like this. So it looks like a regular desktop. Works pretty good. But the other problem that I run into, uh-oh. That's not good. But okay, the other problem that I run into is that the cooling, the fan that's internal, it's spinning around. Since I overclocked the CPU using Quick CPU, well, it runs better, faster, right? But if I play a game like a World of Tank Blitz, it'll go, and it's shutter. Where I'm looking at the laptop, making sure it's booting up. Like say you go to shoot the cannon, or your tank could be like, and then you get blown. So gotta cool it. So I put what is it? With 120 milliliter. Next fan to that is what, 8 milliliter, I believe, or a little higher than that. The stock fan. I put that right on top. I rewired it to USB and took it out of another computer that's not working, and splice the wires together, and I hook it up to and I cut off a USB end, and well, that's what we do, right? What are we? We are techs. Okay, so I made my own connection. I should solder it. Yeah, when I get around to it. And voila, it comes on. I could put a little toggle switch on it. I do have some of those left over. And you can control the speed, turn it on, turn it off. But it keeps the CPU cool. That's the whole thing. It needs 2 CPUs because the little tiny little CPU that it has spinning around. I could put them one of those in there. I have one for another laptop and let it blow on top. but it runs hot, that Intel. Now I know, like I told you all, that the Intel motherboard, Intel CPU, Intel, that one, what does it have? Intel NIC, PCIe 802.11ac. When you run a speed test, you get full power. There's some tweaks to, I'm going to cover that. I could cover it now. There's some tweaks to that too. Windows 11 is slow. So I had to disable IPv6. Disable that. It has a problem, Microsoft. They need to fix that. And there were some settings I had to change too. But it seems to work. Better now. Oh, today is March 31st. This is Windows 10. Wow, I just took the other hard drive and put it back inside. Cool. Because I want to put Linux on. And I don't have to repartition the drive, which what this is. See, the software I'm using here, it could do a lot of things. Okay? So what I want to do right now is, oh my goodness, the 16 gig, what do you call this, SanDisk Cruiser, 16 gig, like the girl the ex-girlfriend that left a lot of stuff behind. She left a whole bunch of these too. I've been using them, but this got corrupted. I don't know why. So I popped it into the other laptop. I put the software. It's Partition Assistant Standard Edition. What year is it? 2023. This one is 2021. Yeah. Well, I had the older version. The newer version, forget about it. It's very crippled. This one here, you could do a lot of things in here. Okay, so I blew out the drive. I deleted the partitions. I had a whole bunch of partitions on here. Because when you put into a Windows machine, it can't read it. Now it's 16 gig is around 14, almost 15 gig. That's what it comes out to be. Now I can use it. This software can take the iOS software from the Linux operating system, and we're gonna make a bootable disk on this. I'll plug this into that and put the part. I don't care if I blow out that partition because I don't care. That's just a regular hard drive. Remember that drive I showed you in the previous video? That's what's in there. I just popped it in there. Take off the plate in the back. You don't have to take the keyboard apart. And just pop this out. I got this because I got it for that. Because I wanted to speed up that. Because to me it was slow. But Linux is supposed to be faster. If the Linux works, what I'll end up doing is I'll back up this to another device and clone that onto this and make it a Linux drive. But like that. Because there's some things I gotta do in Linux that I can't do in Windows. Well, I want to get open WRT on that other router. I want to see if I can get it working. I've seen what it's supposed to look like, and I want to play around with it. See if I can get it to work. Because that's quad core, has 1 gig of RAM, has 13 antennas with 13 amp, has a lot of features. You know, I'm glad they came out with something that you don't have to rely on the crazy cloud system. Imagine a whole router based on cloud. Anyway. Alright, let's pop this into... Oh, yes, I'm using the Gateway 2-in-1. I have the software installed. I have the firewall up and running. so I don't get pestered. Oh, it's time to upgrade. No, I don't want to upgrade. Come on, you need an upgrade. I don't want to upgrade. What's that noise? That should be no noise. Come on, read the drive. Come on, read it. Read the drive. Aha, it read it. There we go. No, that's... Wait a second. Oh, boy. Let's see. Let me close this and start it up again. Should have read it. Oh. What drive is this? Oh, I see it now. Hold on, let me close this. I didn't see the screen, but it should show. Oh, wait a minute. D. Where's E? Oh, it's not formatted. Oh, that's not right. Copy. I'm trying to see if Windows sees that drive. It's not seeing. I wonder why it doesn't see the drive. It's crazy. Ah, wasn't pushed in all the way. Lord mercy. Ah, it sees the drive. It came up as drive E. I have 120 gig in the SDXC. Yes. What's going on here? Okay, so it found the other drive. It considered that disk one, huh? The drive that's in here is 56 free out of the 64. I don't know if it has much information on that. Let's see. What information does it have? Yeah, I know it's a BW. It's a B win. Yeah. All right. So we found the Santa Cruz. Export. See if this works. This is the first time I'm trying this out on this. Let's see if it all works. Be amazing if it did. Okay. I gotta change the. Is that dot? Yes. All right, let's see what we're doing here. We're gonna create. Oh, it's doing it. Let's see if it works. It's amazing if it works. So it takes the Linux iOS and it's putting it on, making it a bootable drive so I can. run it on this device here. Run it on this tablet here. I don't have to wait the plug for the so it's gonna put on. So this is Windows 10. I really don't use it. I'm gonna have to put hold on a second. I gotta get well, I don't know. I went to Best Buy and I was looking for what possessed me to buy this. This is the Microsoft. It's gigantic. Wow. What is this? So this is the Microsoft. It came with a little plastic thing, so it's a little. So this is not one of those keyboards that split. I don't know what possessed me. And they had the Logitech mouse with the ball. Did I need it? I don't know. But this gets me wired USB. I couldn't find any. And the ones I had are old. They don't work anymore. Especially the ones from Walmart, the ONS. They were cheap. I forgot what I paid for those. I have a whole bunch of them, but they fail. So this one, to play the World of Tank Blitz, I had to remind myself, this doesn't light up. That's the only, now that's the drawback with this. You pay all that money and it doesn't light up. Thanks, Microsoft. Hey, you're welcome, Al. Because we all know that Linux is very tricky and fussy with, I mean, I could hook up one of these. I think I found the controller for this. So hook up that. What I'm waiting for this to finish. No, it's almost finished. And we'll see if it works. All right. He created it. That's a good tool to have, you know? All right. Take this out. The laptop has three USBs on it. One SSD. That's how this came with originally with Windows XP, and I was the first one on the internet to have put in Windows. What did I put in? Windows 7. So a lot of people said you couldn't put Windows 7 on this. Oh yeah, you can. Let's boot this up. Turn this off. Okay, so I'm booting it up. Let's see if it boots up. Oh, still running Windows. Ah. I gotta change the boot record. Hold on. I gotta get into the BIOS. Let me turn this off. Okay, what's it on the Acer again? Let's try F10. So, turning it on. Pressing F10. Nope. Something wrong with this keyboard. I don't know what happened to it. Get old. Alright, so I plug in the Microsoft keyboard in. Plug that in. I'm gonna get into the BIOS. So F2, 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 F2. That's it. So you press F2. Oh, I'm in the BIOS. Cool. Okay, this is running an Hitachi drive, Atom processor, an N270. Woo. Uh-oh. Yeah. Okay, yeah, okay. Video RAM is 8 meg. So it has 2 gig of RAM. Boy, you could actually run oh, it's F12 for the boot memory. It's disabled. Better turn. Let me turn it on. The boot menu boot. To boot up. So you have a selection of which drive to boot into, or it's disabled. What's enabled? Enabled. All right. Network boot. Quick boot. Do we need a network boot? Yeah, I'll do it like this. Okay, F10 to save. See, I'm using this. See? Yes, save. F12, 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 F12. Ooh, here we go. There it is. See that? I'll show you. I like when things work. And in real life, it's tough. See? Okay, so here you can see that we have the UMON software updater running, and it's loaded on the netbook here, right? So this is how it would look. The only problem that I have is the wireless. I can't get the wireless adapter to work. I'll have to see if it's working with Windows 10. Yeah, so it worked. Okay, so this is 32-bit version, but you can't download it off their website. You have to go. I had to go on the underground again. I'm not talking about no torrents or anything like that. I'm talking about bulletin boards and finding it. Then able to get to this point. Yeah. I don't want to use the built-in wireless because it's 802.11 and it's not secure. So I don't know. I think the way I have it jerry-rigged now, it's using the USB to 10100. Yeah. Well, what it's doing is updating the software, because I think the other one was like 3 years old. Almost 3, well, I see 2021. Whoop. So, that's about it. Oh, computer needs to finish reboot. Okay, so I'll reboot. Let's show you how that looks. Restart now. There we go.